Kean Bexley for Rebel News. At the Shooting Edge in Calgary, this is, of course, a firearms store that has seen an increase in sales as a result of the Wuhan flu outbreak. The global pandemic that was announced by the World Health Organization spiked an increase in customers coming to the establishment and purchasing firearms and ammunition. Now, the question many folks are asking is, what is an essential service here in Canada? According to the Globe and Mail, in Alberta, just last week when Jason Kenney declared a provincial state of emergency, arenas, science centers, museums, galleries, fitness centers, and community centers, they are all closed. The only exceptions are the Alberta legislature itself, hospitals, grocery stores, airports, and other essential services, which got me thinking, is a firearms store an essential service in Canada? Well, turns out it depends who you ask.
We may not fall under your strict guidelines of essential services, but when you read through the guidelines from even the Government of Canada, because I was just going over that, because we're always concerned about, are we essential or what is essential? And part of the gist of being an essential service in Canada is also for societal norms and the calming of society, like basic running of society. And one of the things that we do is, I mean, especially in Alberta is big on hunting. A lot of people are sustenance and sustainable hunting. We give them the opportunity then to come and get their supplies. And you see right now that people are panicking, running to the stores, and they're buying everything out. People are emptying out entire meat lockers. And so people start getting panicky when they think, well, how am I going to feed my family? And so when they call us and they go, are you open? Yeah, I'm open. Do you think you're going to be closed down? I no, unless we get mandated to, we'll be here. They're calm because then they come in and they pick up a box of ammo. So I think when we talk about essential, it's essential to keep people calm. And I think that's what's really important here.
Now, the Calgary Shooting Centre has certainly been practicing good hygiene. They're actually also a food establishment. They teach wild game cooking courses. Something else that entertained me to hear was that this store, this establishment, actually has greater health security than Canadian borders do right now.
You have to use our commercial hand wash station when you walk in the door. You have things to direct you to keep social distancing. We have, like, our retail area is like 8,000 square feet. So when you have like 10 or 15 people in, they're pretty far apart.
JR, the owner of the establishment here, tells me that they also see an increase in folks looking to get their firearms license. Of course, in Canada, you're not allowed to purchase a firearm and acquire it and possess it unless you have a PAL, a possession and acquisition license. He says that there's been an increase in people interested in taking the training course.
The number of people that want their firearms courses right now is insane. So we're continuing to run our firearms courses, but what we've done is we've cut back the numbers in each class so we can separate them much more. We're cleaning all the guns between use. They're wearing gloves. We go through the normal checklist of, like, have you done any traveling? Do you have a fever? Like, we actually are taking people's temperatures. It's fairly easy for us to make everybody spread out, and for the feds to come in and try to mandate that ahead of the province. That's a huge step, right? Especially since every province, I think, is being very aggressive in how they're dealing with it already with their made in province scenario and solutions, right? So I think I'm very happy with what the Kenney government's doing in Alberta.
JR says that he's trying as hard as ever to make sure that his employees can remain on the payroll, contributing to EI that needs to be paid by someone. He wants to make sure that he can keep his business open as long as possible, and he's concerned that Justin Trudeau might overstep his bounds and invoke the Emergencies Measures Act, just like his father did with the War Measures Act 50 years ago.
I think for Trudeau to make a step and be like his dad and start imposing a War Measures Act on Alberta and closing provincial borders ahead of a province is a huge step. And I think that's why they've stayed away from doing it so far.
Now the Shooting Edge remains open, along with a lot of firearm stores across the province and across the country. In my opinion, they certainly are an essential service. As JR says, many people rely on these stores to provide them with ammo so that they can continue to provide for their families. Many folks here in Alberta are hunters and rely on hunting season to feed their family throughout the year. Now more than ever, it's important to be able to maintain your own personal supply chain for your family, and this is a great way to do it. For Rebel News here at the Shooting Edge in Calgary, I'm Kean Bexley. Thanks for checking out our content. If you want to help us out, if you want to help Rebel News stay afloat, sharing the other side of this story, go to rebelnews.com and get yourself a premium subscription. If you get Rebel News Plus, you'll get access to a ton of content that you wouldn't otherwise. And it is the best way to help us out, to help us continue sharing the other side of the story.